Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
I fell in love with Nancy. She's been doing this a long time, but she had me hooked doing that Casey Anthony whole thing there with Kaylee. I think I watch her on Headline News every night, and I believe she's the best in the business. She knows I feel that way. And that name, Nancy, man, I must have said that name about 100 times the last 9 days. Nancy Guthrie, of course. So here she is, the incredibly talented and brilliant, my friend, Nancy Grace. Nancy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me. I am exhausted because I've been up all night thinking about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. It's very perplexing. I can tell you this right now. Someone with inner knowledge of that family and her home is responsible for this. You have a perp come in the home and is there for over a half an hour. Now, I've got my 94-year-old mother living with me, and it is not easy getting her up out of bed. She needs a walker. Miss Guthrie needed a cane at best. How'd they do it? And there's been a lot of speculation over the weekend regarding why her septic tank was searched. I grew up out in the country in a house where my grandfather dug a well in the backyard. People in the country or away from the city do not have, quote, city water, also city septic. They have septic tanks. So that's something that sets them apart from city dwellers. I think that they were not looking for a body in the septic tank. No. They were looking for any evidence that may have been flushed down the commode, and that was very smart. And people are trashing them and finding fault with their investigation, and I agree with some of it. But when you're looking for a live person or a dead body, the first thing you think of is not to look for tissues in the septic tank. So I wish they had done it sooner, but they've done it.
Yeah.
I'm a little more concerned with them not finding an alleged camera of some sort, surveillance camera on the roof, and other matters, such as not securing the scene. That's 101.
Yeah.
Please.
They blew
stop.
that. Yeah, no, they blew that.
More than once.
Yeah, more than once, and a lot of that stuff has been contaminated. And look, you're right. Look, they're not ready for this type of thing, that sheriff's department in Tucson, Arizona. Just like when that kid went into the school and started killing little kids in Uvalde in Texas. They weren't ready for that either. It's not the NYPD all over the country. But, people, you just said somebody very familiar with the house. You're 100% right, and her. But yet people stop it there. They don't go to the brother-in-law. And I'm sorry, somebody's got to explain to me why the investigators spent 3 hours at Savannah's sister's Annie's house on Saturday, 3 hours taking pictures. There was luminol involved, and this brother-in-law has not come out once and said a word. So we keep talking about somebody close to the family, but we seem to stop short at the brother-in-law. Why?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because as of right now, there's no evidence implicating him. And before you start in on the brother-in-law, you would have to believe that Savannah Guthrie and her brother Cameron and the sister Annie, who is married to the son-in-law, got on national TV and begged for the return of their mother, not once, more than once, knowing full well that the brother-in-law is involved. That takes some acting skills. Meryl Streep, they ain't. No. So, it's, I would think long and hard, but I will go this far. I will state that it's someone very involved that knows the inner workings of Miss Guthrie. Who could that be? That could be anyone, an extended relative. It could be a granny nanny's husband or son, a ne'er-do-well. How many times have you heard about a helper in the homes awful son being involved in some plot to steal or harm. So, you got to spin it out.
Yeah.
You got to spin it
That's
out
fair.
to its logical conclusion.
That's fair. And others are saying that this is Nancy Grace, the great Nancy Grace, some type of international.
Oh, please stop.
Well, but they're using the. I'm with you 100%. But why would somebody put in a ransom letter if you believe that those ransom letters are real and that is in fact coming from the abductor? Why would an American citizen put USD when you just would say dollars?
Well, that's a very good point. However, let's think it through. To think otherwise would involve an international kidnap ring. Now, you know what? Why don't we get a fifth grade girl to write a novel, a mystery novel? Because that'd be perfect. Okay? It's usually not that complicated. First of all, ransoms are really rare, extremely rare. Typically, it's going to be a white male because statistically, that's who it is. I can guarantee it's not a woman, but a white male that is very closely connected to that family. That's who we're looking for. Now, here's my next question. Her circle's not that big. You've got her church circle. And there's been claims that she, attends online ever since pandemic, but there's still a church circle that knows her. You've got people that come in and out of her home, her yard, people that work on her car, maybe healthcare workers, maybe somebody at the doctor's office, someone connected to her. The circle's not that big, so what is the holdup? Well, part of the holdup is they don't want the perp to kill her.
Well,
so
that's
they're
not
handling it
right.
Very delicately.
Right. And of course, when you say they don't want the perp to kill her, and I know you've got to be careful. I know how television works. I was on Fox News last night, and they want the people on TV to be very careful the way they phrase things, much like Savannah, as you know, Nancy, had to be very careful the way she phrased things when addressing the abductors. But look, I was told after day one that this woman needed a medication or she would, God forbid, die after one day. We're going on 9 days now, unless you're going to tell me that these people who abducted her found a drugstore down in Mexico and they got her on medication. As far as I know, the medication was left inside the house. So was the pacemaker. So outside of, I want to believe that this beautiful woman is alive, outside of that, what is the logical reasoning behind thinking that she's still alive 9 days later?
I believe the family, unless they're going on blind hope, has some indication that she's alive. They're not telling us everything.
They are, though. See, here's where I disagree with you. And you're much smarter than me. The last Savannah video talked about it's not my mother, almost like I want the body back. She also talked about we understand, as if the abductor said, look, we're sorry she died. I thought there was more stuff that Savannah said in that last video that made me believe that she's gone than she's alive. That could just be me, Nancy, but that's how I read it.
Well, okay, let me just tell you, when I first heard her say celebrate, that threw me over the edge because we hear of celebrations of life. But she said we can celebrate with her, not celebrate her, celebrate with her. And yes, that is not a slip of the tongue. Savannah, who I worked with for several years at Court TV, and I got to tell you, she's just as sweet and smart, the two are not mutually exclusive, as she appears on TV. Just like that. And this could not happen to a sweeter person than Savannah. Every word was chosen. There at the get-go, we heard, oh, do you think the feds knew she was going to give that statement? Yes, I'm sure they helped her craft it.
Sure.
So these are word for word is chosen. Savannah did not go rogue and ad-lib. Every word is calculated.
Agreed.
So when she said with her, that little one word leads me to believe that they have hope that Nancy Guthrie is still alive. And I am clinging to that hope as well because I care about Savannah.
Sure, of course. So Would you recommend?
Hey, let me tell you one more thing.
Yes.
I've gotten a lot of grief because I won't jump on the brother-in-law bandwagon. You know what? I'm saying it is someone close to Nancy Guthrie that knows how her nanny cam system works, knows how her home is laid out, is not afraid to be in the home for 41 minutes, I believe. I calculated it out. That does not necessarily mean it's a relative. So, before we trash the family, the victim's family, let's think this thing through.
Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Payne Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.